Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new mobile pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to drf.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at Woodbine on Saturday. Let's throw up the field for race number 8, the Grade 2 Nassau Stakes, 1-turn mile on the E.P. Taylor turf course. This race for fillies and mares. And while I'm a little disappointed we didn't get Starship Jubilee for this race, it appears they're going to freshen her up for a fall campaign. It does make for a better betting event. Malachi has been in good form, and Amalfi Coast. You got to watch the trip from last time because it was an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, that was a really tough go for Amalfi Coast last time, and she looks like a pretty nice filly. But you know what, Malachi, very solid as the favorite. Even Elizabeth Way, the 5, Dan, she makes a lot of sense in this race.
Absolutely right. Elizabeth Way did do some good things at Gulfstream Park over the winter. We take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector. We're expecting the stretch-out sprinter, the 7 Eye in the Sky, to be out there among the early leaders, along with the 4 Lunar Garden, a horse that I think is going to be a little bit more aggressively ridden. Another Time sat just off the pace last time out. I think she'd let a couple of those horses go. I think the pace will be on the fair side, maybe even on the fair to slow side.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that fast either. And I do think that Eye in the Sky can make the lead from the outside draw. But let's see if she wants to go a mile.
Blinkers off for the 1 Nantucket Road, who made her seasonal debut in that allowance race last time out that was won by another time. I thought she had a great trip in that race. That was over the inner turf going 7.5. She broke from the rail with a short run to the first turn. She sat the pocket. She tried very hard. I'm just concerned that that's the best she can do right now. And if that's the best she can do right now, I don't think she could beat these horses.
Yeah, I mean, we look at her the same way. I don't, have any real knocks on her, but she got a perfect trip last time and wasn't good enough.
Another time, the 2, lots of upside for Barb Minshall. This is a daughter of Munnings, only her 10th lifetime start. She's won 2 out of her last 3 races, but she tripped out in that race last time out, along with Nantucket Red. She sat just off the leader on the outside, attacked on the turn, and there was really nobody coming once the favorite got in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that is all true. I mean, we were just talking about how Nantucket Red had a really good trip in that race, but another time might have had a better trip, Dan, just sitting right up there, tracking the leader. It came down to her and Super Escape on the lead, and another time was better. This is a much tougher race.
Those 2 had good trips. Amalfi Coast did not. And a lot of folks were excited, me included, to see what she would do in her seasonal debut. She finished off 2019 with 3 wins, 4 wins in her last 5 starts, a 91 buyer on synth, but certainly good enough to win on turf. And just nothing went right for her.
Yeah, I mean, that was, a really, really tough trip she had in her 4-year-old debut last time. It's just the kind of race where after you go back and watch it, I think you just have to put a line through it, Dan. She had no chance at all to win there. And as you say, when you go back to her 3-year-old form, it felt like she was just getting good.
And let's watch that stretch run, because another time wins that race. You're going to see Amalfi Coast late on the scene, finishing 6th. All the trouble she got into. It really did look like she was running at the end. You see another time on the outsides, going to reel in the pace setter Super Escape. Nantucket Red is on the inside after saving ground. And you're going to see Amalfi Coast get into it on the far outside to finish 6th. It's tough to say that Amalfi Coast wasn't compromised. And you're just supposed to look at that race and say, take it with a grain of salt. 68 buyer, the line doesn't look good. Draw a line through that.
Yeah, you have to give her a pass for it, because it's not like she just, had one spot of trouble on the race and that was it. I mean, she had trouble at the start. She had trouble on the far turn. She had to come wide to the stretch. I mean, just about everything that could have gone wrong for her went wrong for her.
Lunar Garden finished 4th in that race, an even performance for her in her seasonal debut. And I can understand if the connections were just using it as a starting off point. She does have a little bit more speed at her disposal, and I think they're going to use it here.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what they should do. You're going to take a shot in a race like this. You might as well use your speed and see if you can just make the front and wire the field. She couldn't make the lead last time, but it feels like she might be able to in this spot.
Let's put up the entry card real quick. We'll talk about the 5 Elizabeth Way, 4-1 on the morning line for Emma Jane Wilson. This is a filly that really got good in her first 2 races in North America, winning the very one at a mile and 3/16. Now, I know while she's won at a mile and a 16th, Mike, it did seem that she really improved when stretching out. She's now got to turn all the way back to a mile, and I'm a little concerned that the mile is a bit sharp for her. She just didn't fire last time out in the Mint Julep.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't run her best race. I mean, she did have a pretty tough post in there. I thought all in all, she got a good enough trip in there. Just couldn't get into contention and then tired badly in the stretch. On the other hand, this is significant class relief. I know there were some good horses in here, but that was a stacked field in the Mint Julep. And prior to that, she ran 3 races that would make her very, very tough in here.
Morning line favorite is the 6 Malika. That was a comfortable victory in her first start off a long layoff last time out at Churchill Downs. She didn't break well, then slightly clipped heels at the start, but she recovered soon enough to get into a very nice position. She was comfortably handled turning into the stretch. And then I think she was feeling the effects of the layoff a little bit. She had to work hard the last 1/8 of a mile to win a blanket finish, but that was a nice step in the right direction for a horse that looked pretty good at Saratoga last year, beating a good field.
Yeah, that's true. And that was a pretty good allowance race she was in last time, too. So I'll give her the credit she deserves just for winning that race off the long layoff. And even when you go back to her races when she got over here last year, Dan, I mean, she wasn't winning those races by a lot, but she was getting it done. And she's a very game horse. She's a very tactical horse. She makes a lot of sense in this race. I do think she's, maybe too short a price on the morning line, though.
And completing the field is the expected pace setter, the 7 Eye in the Sky, a multiple stakes winning sprinter, going to try to stretch it out to the 1-turn mile under Patrick Husbands. She just caught yielding ground and newspaper of record last time out. Those are 2 reasons enough to draw a line through that race.
Oh yeah, you don't really care about that race when you're handicapping her in this spot. The question is, can she get the mile? They've tried it a few times in the past. They very rarely stretch her out, but when they have, it has not gone well. She doesn't seem like she really wants to go this far.
Let's go to our top picks for the Grade 2 Nassau Stakes. Mike Amalfi Coast had all the trouble last time out. She's got a lot of upside. She's got very competitive figures.
Yeah, I mean, and I just think she deserves another chance, Dan, off of that tough trip 4-year-old debut. She deserves the chance to get a better one this time and take the step forward she'll need to take. I actually think your top pick is the horse to beat Elizabeth Way. I think this is class relief for her.
It is class relief. That was a very tough edition of the Mint Julep. She didn't run very well there. I'm a little concerned about her backing up to a mile because she did do so well stretching out, but I'm curious to see what kind of price we'll get with her. So I'll go with Elizabeth Way, 5, 6, 4, and 2. You're going 3, 5, 6, and 2 with Amalfi Coast. It's the Grade 2 Nassau. It is the feature race at Woodbine on Saturday, approximate post 4:42 Eastern. Good luck.